Hi guys, so I'm popping between studying horrible, complicated things in German to say hi and welcome to the 2014 video hop. Today, Sunday the 30th of November 2014, a bunch of us YouTubers are going to post hopefully 2 videos about our favorite products this year. There's going to be one essential video which should include our essential tools, and the second video, which for me is like more interesting to see what the other ones tell, will be the style makers. So what products and tools all of us used, especially this year, on our layouts. And even though I talk with my hands, and my hands are going to be on the rest of the videos, I thought it would be nice to do a face-to-camera video. And yeah, just I hope you enjoy my 2 rather long videos. I was really amazed how much I can talk about scrapbooking products. I shouldn't be amazed, because I love it. And I hope my hat doesn't look ridiculous. I got it for €5 at H&M and I really like it. My daughter helped me pick it out, and it keeps my head warm and it keeps my one neuron very well protected in there. So yeah, let's get down to business. Have a great Sunday, a great December, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. Hi guys, I'm gonna just start with it and hopefully I can manage without having a coughing attack. So, must-haves for me: work surface. I have 2 like surfaces that I use. This is a craft mat from Ranger, and it's I think 18 inches on 15 inches, something like that, but I do wish it was a bit bigger. You can get them bigger, but I ordered mine online, so it wasn't that simple. I use this all the time. It's non-stick and I mix media on it, and for me this is a must-have when I do mixed media. You can wipe everything off it, you know, when you decide to do that. Mine is completely dirty. But it's great. I highly recommend getting something like that. I think other companies make it too, but if you do mixed media, this is a must-have. Excuse me, sorry. My other work surface, the one I use all the time when I'm not doing mixed media, this is a cutting, like a self-healing mat. This one is from Fiskars, and I got this in the States. And this came in a set that is meant for quilters. It came with a rotary cutter and a ruler, and for a while I played a little bit with like quilting, but yeah, it takes time from scrapbooking, so couldn't have that. Anyway, so it came in a set. I used a coupon on it for like 60% off or something like that, so it was very reasonable. You know, you can cut on this without a problem, and you should keep it a bit cleaner than I do, but it's great. There are other types, but I have this one and I'm very happy with it. For me, this is also a really good one because it marks the 12 by 12, so when I make videos I know where to keep my layout, so it shows well on video. Next thing, trimmer. I have this trimmer from Fiskars. I got this probably 2-3 years ago, and I don't think it's perfect, and I should probably change the blade more often than I do, but it works really well for me, and it was a good compromise for me between price and weight, because I brought it from the States. I couldn't bring something like huge and heavy. and size. I really like it. Most of the time I don't even need this extending hand, but this is for me quite essential to have it all the way up to 12 inches because I'm a 12 by 12 like traditional scrapbooker. So, but this, I also enjoy the large surface. Most of the time I don't need that, but it is quite important for me to have that. I've never had problems with this wire ripping, and I am pretty pleased with it. I would give it probably an 8 out of 10. Great. Yeah, so that's that. Scissors. I use 3 pairs of scissors. Mostly I use just this one. I don't know this one where it came from. I guess some like stationery store or something like that. They're not very sharp, but I use these all the time, pretty much on every layout. I really like to have the long blades because I don't have to like make as many movements, and it's easier to keep the line straight, even though I'm not very particular with you know, cutting my pattern papers super straight. For fussy cutting, when I can, I don't like to fussy cut. If I have to, you know, I have to suffer for my art and stuff, so if I have to, I try to use these, and if it gets like too tiny or something, I will go to these. These are also sharper. These came from like a set. I think it's like something connected to the Cricut, but yeah, I don't have a Cricut. I just bought these because they had a few nice tools, and so that's where I got this one. And this is the Tim Holtz scissors, and they are awesome, and they're like the heavy duty ones that I use. You can cut metal with them, and yeah, pretty much everything. So when these two fail, I go to this one. If I only had to use one, I would get a good, you know, scissors with like long blades. That's for me the most useful. If you do a lot of fussy cutting, then you should check smaller ones also. There are like really nice ones, but I only have these ones. So that's scissors. Adhesive. I use these 3. These are my must-haves. If I only had to choose one, well then I would stop scrapbooking. No, I don't know. I think these 3 work great together. They are all very economical, and I just use them for different things. I love to use the ATG for paper, and basically whatever I can glue with this, I use this. It's very, very economical. I use mostly the regular craft tape and not the like acid-free. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. So I use the regular one. It's cheaper. And it's also, it doesn't show on vellum, or it barely shows on vellum, which I use a lot. And it's quite forgiving. You can reposition your like pattern papers and stuff, and I really, really, really love it, and I highly recommend it. The gun cost me, I think, $20, and yeah, I love it. I admit that I would prefer to use a smaller one, like the American Crafts or something, but these are so much more economical that I, you know, I use these. And I love the Tombow Mono Multi liquid glue, whatever, the green and white one. I love the tip. It has this tiny, tiny tip. It's super strong, and you only need a tiny bit of it. I use it to adhere like thickers and little embellishments, and also papers when I'm doing more mixed media. And I just love it. It's great, and I think this is already like my, I don't know which bottle it is. They do last a long time because you only need a very small amount. And this one is the last one I got from these two actually, and I got it on Amazon. This is, the company is Dremel, I think they're German, I'm not sure, but it cost me, I don't know, maybe 15 euros or 17 euros or something like that. It has two heating sets and it works great. Yeah, I love it also. I use it. The nice thing about it is that I can, it's also kind of like a little bit three-dimensional. So, you know, it gives more dimension when I adhere embellishments. I mostly use it for embellishments and, you know, flare buttons and that type of thing. Because usually I don't, yeah, for paper I use these guys. Yeah, but these three are my must-haves for me. Another must-have in my scrap room is my heat gun. I use this for embossing, for heat embossing, and also to like to dry things because I do use a lot of mixed media, so I don't want to wait all the time. This one is what I used. I have no idea what company it is. I got it on Amazon Germany, and yeah, I'm very pleased with it. What else? Pens. Okay, pen is another must-have for me. Most of the time I use black or white, and I will also use, actually, I use a lot of gray. And my white gel pen is the Jelly Roll from Sakura, and I love this one. I have tried, there's another one from Uniball, I think, that everyone raves about, and I've heard it being called the unicorn of white pens, and I had it and I used it once and it got like clogged or something, and whatever I did, I tried everything, I couldn't make it work. So I had to get another one, and I'm very, very happy with the Sakura one. I have a few different black pens, but the ones I keep coming back to are these Micron from Pigma. And I got a set on Amazon, and it just has different sizes. It says the sizes here, so that's very handy. I use these for journaling, for doodling, for outlining. They will work with everything. They are permanent. You can use Copics on them and ink and whatever you want. They will not budge. Like, this is quality stuff, and I really recommend these guys. And for gray pens, or if I want some colored ones, I have this set. I got like a whole set of these. These are Staedtler, and they are very like fine tipped, and they come in great colors, so I really like them. So when I need a colored pen for journaling or whatever, I go to these guys. But I could probably live without them, but I couldn't manage without white and black. So that's that. A couple of other tools are these guys. I have like a, you know, a craft knife. This also came in some cheap this tool set for the Cricut, and it's kind of, for me, it feels like a bit, like these things feel a little bit cheap, like this craft knife feels a little bit cheap, but the blade is good, and I don't use it a lot, but sometimes I do need it. So, yeah, so it's a good thing to have. I know other people use it like all the time. I'm just scared because I'm prone to injuries and accidents. So, yeah, I'm just scared I will hurt myself. That's why I don't use it more often. Another very handy tool is this little spatula. I use it all the time to pick up stickers that I glued on my layouts, and if you have an electronic die cutting machine, this is also great to remove the die cuts from the sticky mat. I use this all the time. It's very handy. This is my pokey tool to poke holes, and it's also like this side is for like brad setting, but I don't use brads that often. This is from We Are Memory Keepers. So I use this a lot also. Excuse me. Okay, let's go a little bit into stamping basics. I have a few acrylic blocks. I think it is nice to have a few sizes. You know, for larger stamps you will need a larger block, but I don't like to use it, the large ones, unless I have to. And this size is good for like, you know, kind of border stamps or something more like longer. So these are the ones I have. There's another one in this set, but like a size between this and this one, but my daughter has it right now. So these are a must for me because I think almost all of my stamps are like cling stamps, either clear or red rubber that is mounted on like foam that you can attach to these. So this is a must-have for me. And then with inks, I guess, you know, if I had to choose one ink, then I would go for black. Even though with a lot of my pages, especially like the light and brighter ones, I think gray looks better. Black is too harsh. But yeah, if I had to choose one, I would go for black. And I made a little thingy here. And these are all my black inks. And I have to say my favorite is the Versafine, because it's like super black. And you know, if you're on a budget, you can get like the second generation stamping. So you know, you stamp it once and then you stamp it again without re-inking it. You could get like a gray. So you know, you don't have to, if you're on a tight budget, you don't, you can create a gray like this. And I just love it. It's like very, very black and crisp and really nice. I used to use the Memento Tuxedo Black until I got this, and it's also okay, but it's not as black as the Versafine Onyx Black. And I have to mention another one. I think it's not as black as this one, but I will mention this one, the Color Theory from Studio Calico, because this one is cheaper. It is smaller, but I think it's like, you know, this one is probably like $8 or something like that, and this one is like $4 or $5. Problem is, I think these you can only get on the Studio Calico website, but it's a very nice black ink. So I think it's another option, especially if you're on a tight budget. You might want to check this one out. Or try and get this on sale. That's, sorry, that's how I think I got it at Joann's. They have, once in a while, 40% off like everything, so I usually wait for a good deal. Another must-have ink for me is the Versamark Watermark Stamp ink. I use this for embossing. It's like sticky ink, and yeah, it's probably my must-have. With embossing powders, I would probably say if I could only get one, I would get a white embossing powder. And if I could get another one, then I would get a gold one. I use a lot of gold and a lot of white. I think white is beautiful with, you know, to stamp your image in white and then do watercolors or, yeah, mostly watercolors. So, yeah, these are definitely must-haves for me. And another handy tool that I highly recommend is these blending tools from Ranger. This is the older one, and then they came up with this one. This one is awesome. I would get the smaller one. It comes like 2 tools in one set, and then you can get the foams. And these are great for applying pretty much everything. I use them for everything, inks and paints, everything. They're also good for inking the edges of your papers. you know, you could use the ink pad for that, but I think this is so much nicer and easier, and yeah, I use these guys all the time. What else? Okay, Swatch System or something like that. If you have a lot of inks, I highly, highly recommend making some sort of system. There are all kinds of like videos on YouTube and different systems. This one was like cheap and easy for me. There's this set that you can find on Simon Says Stamp, and it comes with a ring, with these cards, and with this stamp set. So I just use my, yeah, I just make a sample for all my inks. It's much, much easier than to try what type of ink works with the layout. This is much faster. And if I wasn't too lazy, I would also make this for all my mists. Because it's so useful, and I can't recommend this enough to create a system that works for you. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I mean, this is what I have for a lot of my other mediums. Just for quick reference, it will save you a lot of time. So I really recommend coming up with a system that works for you. Excuse me. And I think the last thing for this video will be gesso. I use gesso on probably 90% of my mixed media layouts, and I go to the art supply store because I think it's more economical to buy a big container than to order like a smaller one. And I know that, like, you know, regular craft companies like Ranger or Faber-Castell or something, they don't make these huge bottles, and you can get like a little jar and try it out. But if you use it all the time, I would suggest going for something, just spending a little more maybe at one time, but it will last you forever, and it will cost you less eventually. So this was the one I found, and I don't like working with like this type of bottles or tubes, because if I pour it out and I have things left over, I can't put it back, or it's like really annoying. So I dump it in this jar. This was a hair conditioner like mask, like conditioning mask, and I repurposed it for my gesso, so it still smells nice from the from the hair conditioning mask, but I just pour a bit in and then I can use it. And my favorite tool to apply this is my palette knife. So this one is also a must-have for me. And yes, another thing that I use on a lot of my layouts are ink splatters. And yeah, I couldn't even say if I had to give up one of these. I'm not even sure what I would give up. Maybe the gold. But this is my favorite white mist. This is the Lindy Stamp Gang. This is the Starburst. It has some shimmer in it, but it's very, very subtle. It's called Frozen Jack Frost, and I really, really like it. It's very opaque and looks great also on darker like papers. And yeah, this one is my favorite. I'm already halfway through it. This one is, I don't think it's completely black. It's called Skyscraper. It came with the Studio Calico kit. It's a very, very dark gray, and I really love it. I use it a lot. The way I create the splatters is I use this side of the nozzle and just flick it over my page. If you're very tight on a budget, you can create your own like ink splatters using some black ink and just mix it with a bit of water, or use acrylic paint. And my favorite gold spray mist is the Heidi Swapp Color Shine. This is gold. It's also called the Gold Lemieux. As far as I know, these are the same things. It's full of shimmer and it's really, really beautiful. Yeah, so I think that's it. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned for part 2, where I will talk about my favorite products and tools that I've used in 2014. So thanks for watching. Bye.